You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. All right, let's look at the defensive side of LSU signing class today. Brian Kelly said he wanted balance, and certainly got that. We'll just start up front and then work our way back. Look, the defensive line is clearly an area of need for LSU, especially on the interior. We know you played three guys this year. Because of Mason Smith's injury, you played Roy, Guillory, and, of course, Mekhi Wingo came in. Roy's going pro, so you've got Guillory and Wingo back. Mason Smith's coming off of injury, but you are still paper thin right there. You got a couple of guys that redshirted this year, and Bryce Langston, Ty G. Hill, Fitzgerald West, who bounced back and forth with offense and defense. Bottom line is you got to get help on the defensive front. And Brian Kelly, when he was asked today, of the players LSU signed today, the 25 high school signees, none is a defensive tackle. So when Brian Kelly was asked the remaining positions of need, it was pretty obvious where he was going to start.
Heavy influence on the defensive line. I think you'll see defensive line, defensive backfield as the particular areas that we still need to address as we move forward.
So defensive line, defensive backfield. It's worth noting, LSU did add 2 transfers on the defensive line last night with Sands from Arizona and Lee from Florida. So that's 2 veteran guys to add to your interior rotations. That brings you up to 5 on the interior. They're probably not done there either. Now, the one defensive player that they added of great significance today, certainly the second highest rated prospect, or third, I guess, depending, in the on-3 composite, it's Lance Hurd, Shelton Sampson, and then Deshaun Womack. Womack is a guy who there were a few nervous moments late, because when you get a guy that's that highly rated, that's out of state, people wanted to make sure that he did put pen to paper, and he did. An edge player at 6'4", 245 that LSU is clearly very high on.
Obviously a team that, their rivalry game is IMG. It's a pretty good caliber of competition week in and week out. But he fits the jack position for us. Obviously with BJ going to the NFL, there's a natural opening there, on our roster. And we think he's a guy that can come in immediately and compete for playing time.
So when you look at the jack spot, remember, we know that we got to see Harold Perkins there a lot, but that's not where Harold Perkins is going to play. I'm not saying he'll never play in that spot, but Harold Perkins is going to be an every down inside linebacker. He's going to be next to Greg Penn taking that Baskerville role. Like, that's going to be what Harold Perkins is. As good as he is on the edge of rushing the passer, he's going to be Devin White. He's going to be a 3-down inside backer. So you look at that jack spot with Ojulari out. Savion Jones, we've talked a lot about him, but Savion Jones is most likely going to take the Ali Gay role at that big end on the left. That's where he played this year. Yes, I know that you've got other guys that will rotate through there, but Xavier Carter is the guy that would play the jack spot. It would be listed as an edge, as a jack. And then if you talk about, but Carter barely played this year. And then if you talk about Womack, that's a true freshman coming in. LSU did add the Oregon transfer as well as an edge player in this class. So you're starting to build depth, but they've got to get more there as well as far as edge. So that's what Brian Kelly's talking about, adding the defensive line. They're not done. We've gone over the numbers a couple of times already, but 25 high school signees. You've got 4 commitments from the portal already. They'll announce the portal, all the portal commitments on Friday. But Kelly said 15 of the 25 high school guys right now will be on campus in January, and they'll have 8 to 10 transfers on campus as mid-years as well. You got 4 committed right now. So you got more coming, and you better believe you're going to see D-line, and you're certainly going to see the secondary as well. So that's where, look, linebacker, I'm not trying to just brush over linebacker, but you addressed linebacker a year ago in a significant way because you knew what your numbers were going to look like. So you have Greg Penn coming back. You've got West Weeks coming back as well, and they love the way DeMario Tolan emerged. And yes, of course, Harold Perkins is going to play there. And then you signed 2 linebackers today in this class with Whit Weeks, West Weeks' younger brother, and then Christian Braithwaite as well, part of this class. So 2 younger guys coming in. Not to say it's out of the realm of possibility that they'd add a linebacker if there's a great player they want, but they seem good with the blend of veterans and young guys coming in, experience and green players to grow and develop at linebacker. They seem good there. They added plenty at safety today. And Brian Kelly was also pretty clear. He was asked, can you play number 6? He was asked, can any of these six, because remember, the cornerback numbers, you're losing your top 4 corners. The only corners you return are Sevyn Banks and LaTerrence Welch. That's it. You signed Hughes today out of Bishop Gorman in Vegas. That gives you 3, and you're thinking you're going to get Ricks tomorrow, which would bring you to 4. 4 corners? Like, they have got to add corners. Brian Kelly was asked, can any of these safeties that you signed today play corner?
No, I think we've addressed it. We feel really comfortable when recruiting has completed, and it hasn't completed totally for us yet. We feel like we're going to be to the numbers that we wanted to be at the cornerback position. So is there a little bit of flexibility there? Yeah, absolutely. I think, we know that there's great flexibility with Ryan Yates as a guy that can play corner and safety. I know there's some flexibility even with some players on our roster. But we feel good about the numbers that will be reflected, as we get into, we're gonna have a recruiting weekend in January, and that one recruiting weekend in January will probably be where we kind of finish off our recruiting for this recruiting cycle.
One quick point of clarification: LSU does, and I'm seeing this right now, they do list on the official website that Ashton Stamps out of Rummel, the 3-star, they list him officially as a cornerback as well. Signed as a safety and all the composite and everything like that. But LSU on the website officially lists him as a corner. So that means you'd have Banks, Welch, Hughes, Stamps, and then Ricks tomorrow if they get him. But that's 5, and only Banks will have significant college action. So you've got to go into the portal to get cornerbacks. At safety, today you added Doherty, Yates, Jackson, and that's on top of Major Burns coming back. Greg Brooks could come back at that nickel safety spot. You're good at safety. Your numbers are good at safety. It's obvious where in the portal they've got to go address. They've still got to get guys on the defensive line, and they have got to get cornerbacks in the transfer portal. I'll remind you again on the timeline. 45-day portal window is open. It opened last Monday. So it's open until January the 20th. That's just the window for guys to enter the portal. You got to declare the portal. You don't have to choose your final destination then. And then after spring, there's another portal window. So this may be a thing where you wait until after spring, a guy loses his job in spring football or realizes he's further down the depth chart than he likes and looks for another opportunity, and that's when something like that could come about. But it's obvious. It's obvious where LSU's needs are. D-line, cornerback, and you look for some movement on that soon at those 2 spots. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.